Tess, there we go. Welcome to another edition of Biro Sports Talk. Sorry for that brief technical difficulty, because I gotta do it all on the fly as a one-man show. You know who it is. It's your boy Biro. As the title says, there's lots to talk about. Don't forget, you can always email your questions at birosportstalk@gmail.com. I'm not going to be able to actually see things today. Comments for some reason on Restream are not working at the moment. So, fun times there. Just going to try, and there we go. Got it more so that you can hear me. I don't know why things are the way they are right now, so. Ay, ay, ay. You know how it goes every day. We be doing it. So there's a lot going on today. Where to start is actually the bigger question. Do you want to start NBA? Do you want to start here, there, everywhere? See, I'm going to try and focus on things, Some things, Try to. We're live, we're live. I'm just trying to finish off a few more things. There we go. There we go. All right, we're fine. Okay. Going to keep an eye, but we'll see. Lots to go on. Which do you want to start with? Well, we'll start with these crazy NBA talks going on right now. Lots going on in the NBA. We'll go NBA, then we'll go to this big news in college sports. Some info on the Deshaun Watson setup. And a Freddie Freeman issue that is intriguing. It's something to pay attention to and make sure it's all good. Oy, oy, oy. Just lots going on in the NBA. We'll talk more, of course. We'll talk a lot about the NBA. Don't worry. There's a lot going on. All right. So, NBA. Anthony Simmons agrees to a 4-year deal, $100 million with the Trailblazers. Dort staying on with OKC for 5 years, 87. Batum back to the Clippers on a 2-year deal. We're going to look at the free agency buzz because other deals. Malik Monk going to, I think it was the Kings. I kind of jumped. Bobby Portis agrees for a 4-year, $49 million deal. Malik Monk back to the Kings. Yep, or to the Kings. Brunson more than likely intends to sign with the Knicks. It's just what he intends to do. You might as well. Make bank, prove you're worth it. Bradley Beal heading back to the Wizards as free agency opens. He declined the player option, I believe it was, or something. Got a 5-year, $251 million maximum contract. He's still great, man. He's never really had a star beside him besides John Wall for a little bit. But he's proven to be good. He's a talented guy. He's just good. Big news, though, also in free agency today. Kevin Durant requests a trade. Yeah, that was big. In the trade deadline information, free agent guard Trevelyan Queen is going to the Sixers. So we got Batum, we got Lugans Dort going back to OKC. Chris Bouchard, I believe, something like that. Boucher. As a Raptor, again, for 3 years, $35.25 million. Free agent center, Damian Jones, 2-year deal with the Lakers agreed upon. Amir Coffey, 3-year, $11 million deal to the Clippers. Joel Ingles, has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Bucks. What? Tyus Jones, you know him. He's going to the Grizzlies, returning. Sorry about that. 2-year, $30 million deal. Like I said, I wish I had everything working in OBS right now because because I would normally see the chat from all my different chats, but for some reason it decided not to work today. So we will see after this what's going on. Daniel House Jr. agreed to a 2-year, $8.5 million deal to the Sixers. Oh man, who haven't we talked about? So Jaren Jackson Jr. underwent surgery. The Mavericks and the Bucks are pursuing JaVale McGee. Durant and Kyrie still want to play together. However, the only location willing to do that are the Lakers. The Mavericks have canceled any planned meetings with Jalen Brunson because Brunson plans to go to the Knicks. After officially completing a trade, the Spurs are expected to waive Danilo Gallinari. Ouch. So there was a trade also. Gallinari for... I'll have to look up his name again real quick. Of course, I'm not going to be able to see it right away. Deontay Murray. Super all-star guard this year. Very talented. He's going to be paired up with Trae Young. Trying to keep up, though. Brett Brown has agreed to return to San Antonio to join Greg Popovich as an assistant. Miles Bridges was arrested in L.A. Kemba Walker is going to be bought out by the Pistons, so he'll join free agency. The Kings are exercising the option on Chimezie Metu to keep him on the team. Nets guard declined his $6.2 million and became a free agent. So Patty Mills is a free agent. Danilo Gallinari will become a free agent as well. The Kings are declining to offer Dante DiVincenzo a qualifying offer. James Harden declined his offer and will become a free agent as well. The Bucks forward Bobby Portis and forward team, he declined his option. Beal declined his, but we know he's up. Yep, so a lot going on. Lots and lots. It's crazy, man. It's only 7 and things are still going down. The biggest news, though, still Kevin Durant requesting a trade. This tarnishes, in my opinion, Kevin Durant's legacy. He was a good guy for OKC. He should have just stayed in OKC. But he went to the Warriors, and I could accept that. I could accept going to the Nets. But now it's just like, dude, you want to go to the Suns or Heat? No, just no. I get it. Oh, everyone just going crazy. I mean, Trailblazers would be an intriguing one. A lot of people trying to pull Durant every which way. there you have it. Durant, there's lots of trades. It's just hard to see the net. So here's a list of recent super teams that never won a championship that they want. One that still sticks out in my mind, Kobe and Shaq were already really good. They added Karl Malone and Gary Payton. And they lost in the NBA Finals 4-1 to the Pistons, of all teams. Malone would retire. Payton would be traded to the Celtics. And Shaq would leave. That's what happened. The Patriots, another super team. They added Randy Moss. They had Tom Brady, Julian Edelman, Wes Welker. They had a lot of people. Junior Seau, Vince Wilfork, Asante Samuel, Richard Seymour. They had a lot of guys. I don't know if Edelman was there, actually. But that was the 16-0 regular season. Lost to Eli Manning in the Super Bowl. OKC, on the other hand, my favorite from 2009 to 2012. I wish they would have stayed together. I could only imagine how they'd be if they stayed together. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden. Crazy good team. I still wish they would have stayed together. 2011 Phillies. Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee, Roy Oswalt, Cole Hamels. Then you had Ryan Howard, Chase Utley, and Jimmy Rollins. Crazy good. They face offs against the Cardinals, and the Cardinals end up beating them to win the World Series. Because they beat the Phillies, and then the Cardinals went on to win the World Series. Clippers, another good one from 2011 to 2017. Paul, Griffin, Jordan, DeAndre Jordan. Super talented. They just never could get it going. It is crazy, though. Patty Mills, though, planning to return to the Nets. After declining his player option, he's planning to return. I'm okay with that. I'm sure others will be okay with that. It is hard, though, to keep up with. The thing is, it just started, the free agency talk, and it's all over the place. Jalen Brunson, though, planning to get a 5-year, $106 million plus offer from the Mavericks. Setting the meeting with the Knicks within an hour as well. Patty Mills' deal is a 2-year, $14.5 million deal. It would make him a little more richer. But man, oh man, Kevin Durant demanding a trade. Just the respect I had at one point is all kind of gone at this point. He's ruined it. I get it. You're ring chasing. I get it. You want to be on a team that can win, and you don't want to have all the pressure on your shoulders, and I get that. It's all crazy. It's all okay. Is this gonna... No, it remembers. Good. So another article here, Kevin Durant and Kyrie trades we want to see, deals that would completely shake up the NBA. So some rumored trade deals, for example. Massive 4-teamer between Nets, Suns, Spurs, and the Lakers. Nets get DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, Josh Richardson. A first round, a first round, and a first round. Suns get Durant. Lakers get Kyrie. Spurs get Russell Westbrook and 2 first rounders. Intriguing. This is also intriguing, and I'm kind of intrigued by it. Pelicans in a trade with the Nets. Kevin Durant goes to the Pelicans. Brandon Ingram and Larry Nance Jr. to the Nets. I wouldn't mind seeing Kevin Durant team up with Zion. Like, kind of works that way. Miami gives up nearly half its team for Durant. Ouch. And they add the Kings in here too, where the Kings get Ben Simmons. The Heat get Kevin Durant, and then the Nets get Bam Adebayo, De'Aaron Fox, Max Struss, Gabe Vincent, Omar Yurtseven. A lot of guys. Durant joins the 2-time reigning MVP in the Nuggets. Nuggets get Durant and Derek Favors. Nets get Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and the Thunder, of all teams, get Ben Simmons. All intriguing trades. Don't see any of that happen. Now comes the one I care about the most. This topic, I saw this come in and I knew I had to talk about it. It's not official at all, but oh my, we got to talk about it. USC and UCLA dropped some big player news today. Big player news today. And that news, believe it or not, is USC and UCLA plan to join the Big Ten. Now, why is this big news? Well, you're talking about 2 perennial and pinnacle pillars of the Pac-12 programs. They've been there essentially from the beginning almost, both teams. I believe from an article I saw, the 20s? 1920s, that is. Yeah, 1920s. And it's big because they're planning to do this as early as 2024. Presidents and chancellors will meet to vote on the addition of USC today at 6. Oh, man, that happened already. Weird. I haven't... Not really seeing anything besides that. Okay. It's supposed to be today. I haven't seen any articles saying, yes, we're doing it. But yes, this move came out of nowhere. What pushed this into effect? The reason this move would be less disruptive than potential moves in the ACC is that USC and UCLA have a grant of rights tied to the current Pac-12 television contract, which expires after 2023 in the 23-24 school year. That's why the expectation is that both schools can go to the league that year and not suffer any financial penalty. A lot of Pac-12 officials have been pushing for them to extend, and yep. A high-ranking official of Pac-12 just said, we just got Soonered and horned because, as everybody knows, Texas and Oklahoma is leaving the Big 12 for the SEC. And financial pressures just keep coming, man, because let's talk about this. USC and UCLA leaving, who do you have? Like, don't get me wrong, but who do you have? We're going to look at 2 major sports, of course, and that would be football and basketball. just going to jump right to it because it's kind of a big deal. So, looking at football, first and foremost, UCLA, USC, very good, usually very talented teams. This year, USC fell flat on their face. UCLA was 8-4. USC was 4-8. You're looking at two programs kind of in the middle of the Pac-12 South. USC, of course, they're not going to show this year's schedule. They're going to show next year's schedule because next year's almost a month away already. 2021, that's what I want to see. So, last year when they went 4-8, lost to Stanford, lost to Oregon State. And these aren't like, the only 1 point loss was really BYU. California, they kind of had a 10-point loss, but otherwise they were pretty big losses. The wins were a 7-point win over Arizona, 23 over Colorado. They're blowouts, but they should have won more if they want to be more of a power. And these schools don't care. They want money. That's what it's all about. It's money. And like I said, UCLA 8-4, respectable. Not bad. You look at the rest, though. You got Utah for football. You got Oregon for football. You go from Pac-12 to Pac-10 now. You're 10. You're back to the original 10. Talk about basketball now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You got your 12 again. Oregon State's not going to be anything. But your number 2 and number 3 teams this year were UCLA and USC. You lose 2 very good basketball teams. You move those 2 to the Big Ten. You add 2 more ranked teams to a very stacked basketball conference. I'm just saying, man, that's tough. That's rough. Nope, we're not doing it there. We'll go here and do it. Because basketball is very rich in both programs' histories. I mean, USC is very good for women's basketball. UCLA's traditional men's basketball powerhouse. They're going to be great all the time. Here's the information. USC joined in 1921-22 in the Pacific Coast Conference that later would be known as the Pac-12. UCLA joined in 1927-28. What is important is that UCLA has 11 championships in men's basketball that's still unmatched today. And USC, who's done okay. We'll be honest, they've done okay. They've gotten relevant again. They're very talented again. You're looking at a team that was very good. You look at what the Pac-12 loses, though. They lose so much. And now they're going to have to search for replacements. And you lose 2 very big programs, very money-rich programs. And the first thing I see is Gonzaga, Boise State, San Diego State try to weasel BYU away. And those options I don't see an issue with, honestly. They say they wouldn't want Boise State and San Diego State just because that ruins the Mountain West. Which it would. It would. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, you got to get San Diego State. That's like a must. You got to get a California team again. Boise almost seems like a necessity. I mean, Gonzaga would be great, but are they willing? They're only going to be basketball, though. You know they're only going to be basketball. I mean, there's Colorado State. Get Colorado's in-state rival, basically. There's Utah State. But now you're just poaching from the Mountain West and basically destroying another conference. And that's what all this movement means. We're losing lots and lots of conferences. We're losing diversity. We're changing everything to... Oh, man, it's just crazy, though. Oh, let's see. Oh, man, there's an actual... I didn't even know there was an actual tracker for realignment. So the American East, updated as of today. Hartford will be reclassifying as a D3 after being D1 for so long. Ouch. It won't complete till 2025, but that this season's the last year they will be associated with the American East. Ouch. They will be adding Stony Brook in replace. So ban Stony Brook for winning its automatic bid for the rest of CAA as the only leagues to take such a measure. Yep, there's some other movement there. American, Cincinnati, Houston, UCF. In October, the American announced it would add 6 new members, thanks to the other ones leaving. Charlotte, Florida Atlantic, North Texas Rice, University of Alabama Birmingham, and Texas San Antonio. You got all those all over the place, doing good. There's a non-football affiliate, which is Wichita State, and then there's the football affiliate, Navy. All 6 incoming schools are reportedly planning for 23-24. Oh, sorry. Atlantic Sun, Jacksonville State, and Liberty will each end short stints with the Atlantic Sun to move to the Conference USA in 2023. Wow. Good for them. Liberty needing a bigger jump. They're always a perennial in the tournament. Austin P will jump. Wait, was the addition of... Oh, they will get Austin P from the Ohio Valley Conference. Division II Queens University is a potential target as well. Okay. Loyola Chicago accepted an invite to the A-10, so Loyola going to a big-time conference for basketball. Can't complain there. Southern Utah announced in January 2021 that it would join the WAC. So the Big Sky losing Southern Utah. There's so many different conferences. Reports surface that the CAA was targeting. It's just targeting stuff. No one cares about targeting. We all know about the Big 12 CAA. James Madison is trying to be a FBS football program. Okay, I don't remember the CAA really. So that's interesting. Conference USA, no Division I league, will undergo a bigger transformation than Conference USA. They will lose 9 schools. UAB, Florida Atlantic, Charlotte, Marshall, North Texas, Old Dominion, Rice, Southern Miss, and Texas San Antonio. The conference announced in November that it would counter by adding Jacksonville State, Liberty, New Mexico State, and Sam Houston. In February, 3 Sunbelt schools, Marshall, Old Dominion, and Southern Miss, Oh, those are the ones. Sorry, they're the ones leaving for the Sun Belt. My bad. But that still leaves them very little left. Let's see. Horizon League, Illinois, Chicago is planning to leave for the Missouri Valley from the Horizon. They were linked to Southern Indiana. Conference shopping, Chicago State would be a plug-and-play regional fit. But they don't really have anything in place. I'm just going through a lot of these. I don't care for the most part for a lot of these small ones. I do care, but I don't. BYU is scheduled to move from the WCC to the Big 12. We all knew that. The WAC will also have major alterations next season, with Chicago State departing without a known conference destination. New Mexico State and short-timer Sam Houston both joining Conference USA. Lamar heading back to the Southland, but not until 23-24. And then, of course, they're adding some teams and whatnot. So, all good, all fun. All still conference realignment. Oh, man, that was long. Deshaun Watson, disciplinary hearing over after 3 days, no timetable for ruling. We are up to 25 civil lawsuits. Some will say 24, but we're up to 25. We'll just say 25. Asked for post-hearing briefs, which will be due the week of July 11th. If either the union or league appeals the decision, Roger Goodell or his designee will issue a written decision that will constitute full blah, 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 blah. Let's be honest. If Watson's not suspended for the year, there's something wrong. If not longer. There's something wrong. If a guy can be suspended for a whole year because he's gambling, I can only imagine what's going on here. I don't care if they settled out of court. I don't care about any of this. I care that there's 25 lawsuits. Were even brought up against him. One, of course, dropped after the judge ruled the petition had to be amended with the plaintiff's name, and they didn't want to. So that leaves you at 24, and then 20 of the other plaintiffs agreed to settle their lawsuits last week, leaving 4. That's still 4 too many, and I'm still focused on 25. You know there's an issue when there's not 1, not 2, but 25 cases against you. You may not think you've done something wrong, but there should have been something telling you you're doing something wrong. After 25 different women. Heck, even after, say, 4, 3, 2, 1, even 1 acting wrong, you should have known. We got to hold people to higher standards. Let's just be honest. I don't care how much money he has. We got to hold people to higher standards. So I expect a suspension of some sort. I'm hoping indefinitely for now, which will probably end up just being a year, but we'll see how it goes. In baseball news, though, Freddie Freeman fired his agent, and everyone's accusing everyone of a false narrative. I'll be honest, Freddie Freeman should have been a Brave. The fact that he's a Dodger now is wrong. And I do think it's his agent, not him. Freeman just wanted another year. That's all he wanted. The narrative is that Atlanta countered, less money. But Freeman would have taken that deal. I believe he would have taken that deal. And that's my problem, man. If I had an agent, I'm sorry, but I'm a person who needs to be involved. I'm a person who needs to have an understanding of decisions, basically. I may not make the final decision, but I need to know why we're making this decision, why it makes sense to make this decision. That's just the kind of person I am. So I full-heartedly believe Freddie Freeman probably would be a Brave if he had his choice. So what's going on? For a quick rundown of the standings in Major League Baseball. Yankees still out in front by 13 over the Red Sox, 13.5 over the Blue Jays, 15 over the Rays, and 21.5 over the Orioles. The Twins are leading the AL Central. Guardians are only a game back. Even though the Guardians are on a 2-game winning streak, they're 4-6 in the last 10. They've struggled a little bit. White Sox are back 5.5, Tigers 11.5, and Royals 13.5. In the AL West, Astros are still leading with the Rangers 11 back, Angels 12 back, the Mariners 12.5 back, catching some ground, 7-3 in their last 10. And the A's are still down 23.5. A's with 25 wins to their name, the lowest win total out of all the teams in Major League Baseball. In the National League East, the Braves catching up with the Mets. Mets up 3 games over the Braves. The Phillies 8 games back. Marlins 12. Nationals 19. The Brewers are leading the way in the Central with the Cardinals back a game and a half. Pirates 13. Cubs 14. And the Reds still struggling at 16.5 back. 26-48 overall. In your NL West, you got the Dodgers leading the way. A game and a half back are the Padres. The Giants are 6 games back. Diamondbacks 13. And the Rockies, who started off hot and now have just cooled off, 14 games back. There you had your quick rundown of Major League Baseball. All is fair in love and war, of course. And leading your All-Star game, that's on July 19th, Aaron Judge and Ronald Acuna Jr. Right now for the National League, I could run through these, but we'll wait. I'll be honest, we'll wait. We can go over it closer. Any other news going on? Oh man, KD and Zion would be crazy. There's just so many crazy things that could be going on. Try not to yawn into the mic. It's hard. Any other trade news that... Oh, man, that's not what I want. I was trying to look for trade news. There it is. The live tracker. This is not what I want. That requires me to watch something. And I'll probably do that after. But the fact that USC and UCLA is leaving is crazy. And I agree with this statement. So Kyle Banagura, I think is how you pronounce his last name. Probably butchering it because everyone butchers names anymore. He says if the Pac-12 seeks replacement options, schools such as San Diego State and Boise seem logical, but do very little to make up for the loss of USC and UCLA. And this next statement is what happens if this is approved and this happens. This has the potential to serve as a death blow for the Pac-12. Let that sink in. A death blow. Sure, you got Arizona, you got Arizona State, you got Oregon, Oregon State. You got all these remaining schools. And one of the things is, do Utah and Colorado consider going to the Big 12? Who's next to jump ship? If the top two don't have faith, who else will jump? It's scary. It's truly scary to think about. Here's what I think. I think that you almost have to give it up. We're just going to see conferences fall by the wayside, man. Talking way too much. It's just crazy. I just can't fathom what this does. I mean, this bolsters a Big Ten SEC champion guaranteed in college football playoffs. But as expansion is talked about, where does that leave the Pac-12? Yeah. I don't know if the Pac 12 can solidify their Power 5 standings now. The more you think about it, the more fascinating it is to think how they'll play out. Let's see. I want to look. Because we have some few. I know I'm over my 30 minutes that I try to aim for. But we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this. 2020. Shortened season. Everyone had a shortened season. USC was 5-1. UCLA was 3-4. Okay. 2019. Normal season. USC was 8-5. UCLA was 4-8. 2018. USC was 5-7. UCLA was 3-9. So football wise, they haven't really been there. I can almost guarantee they've been ranked high at the beginning. Preseason. We're going to look at preseason. So this past preseason, 15 USC. I don't see a UCLA. They did get 2 votes, but USC was a top 15 predicted team. And they ended up 4-8. It's just how it happens, man. They were 4-8. They were terrible. Louisiana was the best there. I mean, Cincinnati's going to be a major conference team here soon for the Big 12. I'm telling you, man, we're missing out on a lot of things. But, you know, one thing you don't miss out on is Byro's on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And let's not forget, you could always email any questions. You got any anything to contribute with conference realignment, hey, look right here. No further than that. And of course, you all know who it is. It's your host, Biro. And of course, Evo Retro got everything you need: gaming accessories, trading cards, protectors, gaming equipment. You know, you got it. So thank you for tuning in. I'll be honest, Twitch has been failing me. So if you're wondering where the video game streams have gone, that's because there's been a little support on Twitch. So we're kind of focusing and pulling back the reins a little bit to focus on what got us to where we are. We are this show. We are the sports talk show. But we will finish Final Fantasy. The plan is to finish Final Fantasy and then slowly dive into sports again. We went away from sports games per se and went straight to retro games. We played, I think, Halo a couple times. We're going to try and do, like I said, sports games, competitive games, so Halo could still be there. Not so much like an RPG like we've been doing the last two times, Mario RPG and Final Fantasy VI. We'll focus our efforts on something a little more enjoyable. So, thank you for those who stopped by, even if it is later. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, I'm sorry. Normally I can read the comments, but today my OBS program decided I can't see chat like I normally do. So thank you, though, for tuning in. I will see you guys at least next Thursday. Have a great 4th of July, and enjoy you guys this weekend. Enjoy your extra day.